Hi, my name is Erica Meier. I also teach, in jewelry and metalsmithing. What a great segue. I teach introduction to jewelry and metalsmithing and advanced classes, and I also teach in the digital fabrication and design area, teaching a class called industrial processes. I also happen to be the studio technician, all of my many hats that I wear for jewelry and metalsmithing, and I also provide technical supplementation for the print and narrative forms area. I'm the coordinator for summer workshop programs in jewelry and metalsmithing too, and that'll be relevant at the end of my talk because we offer such robust summer workshops that have to do with our individual skill sets. So currently, I am an America Rally Association rally car co-driver. I race off-road cars in North America and Canada. And the reason I bring this up is because I began my career within the automotive industry, and this imagery was really influential to my really early work. Working on cars, I worked at a Napa service center, and it just taught me how to understand metal, but understand the sort of aesthetics that lived within, this automotive industry. So I learned how to weld and work with metal, and this just sort of perpetuated a lifelong passion to continue to push different kinds of materials, but also where they live inside of industry, of the manufacturing industry. So this led to an examination of the idea of labor in general and thinking about ideas of labor ability and disability. This project that has a bunch of these sort of misshapen or dysfunctional tools was a collaboration with a close friend of mine who is a painter. She only has the use of her neck to make her paintings. And in the process of building tools for her, we began to think about the function of these tools and analyzing skill as it pertained to our own individual skills and the inherent privilege associated with making things by hand. I began to remove the function by adding decoration. So the more beautiful or elegant they became, the more useless the tool became. And then they also were not forged. They could not be used as tools. They were actually fabricated, which again sort of added to, this the elegance of how these things were made. This is another piece about the idea of labor and that sort of elegance that goes along, or pride that goes along with, sort of that hierarchy or privilege associated with being able to make things by hand. This was about more disguising skilled labor, and this was a wall that was actually built inside a gallery, and throughout the course of the installation, it was systematically covered up with drywall completely. And then moving into sort of that reverence for function and using it as a vehicle, no pun intended, I began to think about ideas of dependence and codependence and working collaboratively through function and through ability and skilled labor. So these pieces are made, they're installations on the wall using vinyl strapping that's used pretty regularly in hauling things. I have two parents that are truck drivers, and so these ratchet straps are found objects that are used in transporting items on like semi trucks. And thinking about ideas of codependence, but also co-reliance in terms of making things and collaboratively working to accomplish things through labor. But moving into more recent work, I've been thinking about, again, the aesthetics of labor. And a lot of this comes from a strong background in manufacturing. So in working in the manufacturing industry, I actually built custom steel and stainless steel bicycle frames for a company called Waterford Precision Cycles. I was an apprentice for a number of years, and then I was contracted out through graduate school and then hired again as a metalsmith and designer in residence. So I was building custom steel and stainless steel bicycle frames, and then a designer. So I did CAD and other 3D modeling. My latest body of work amongst the pandemic is called I'll Cry Tomorrow. And before the pandemic hit, I was using these large industrial building materials to start to create these sun-bleached images on the grass. And now I've been relying pretty primarily on grass and the sun bleaching to generate this body of work. So we're planning a custom bicycle frame building workshop, and I'd love for you guys to follow us on Instagram. I can't promise that I won't talk about my chickens. I have 20 chickens in my backyard. They're all tucked in, and I can't promise, this is Loretta, I can't promise I won't talk about the chickens. But please take the workshop and reach out to me at my email there if you want to take the workshop or visit the studio.